would seem,
This
and
is-
it would
this
seem,
is still big.
and it would seem to me that if he's just like, hey man, like Lord, please bless them, that they'll all be really good friends with one another.
But wait, you don't think it's big if he's saying, I have given them the glory that which you have given me, which,
that's a big deal.
yes, it's huge, but in context, what is that glory? Like we see it, okay, so you have the glory of Christ that the Father gave him on earth to work the miracles and to do the miracles that he was doing. Like in John 2, it says, and he performed the miracle, turned the water into wine, and then it says, and he revealed his glory in that context of miracle working, right? John 14, we jump a few chapters later, he says, whoever believes in me will do the same works that I do, and even greater works will he do, like in quantity, not quality, guys. So, right, they're going to be also doing miracle works, the same things that he was doing. So that glory that he had in miracle working power, he's giving that same glory to them. And then he says the same thing, I have given the glory that you've given me to them, right? But in a few verses later, he's praying, let them, I pray that they come to where I am so that they may see my glory. So we see a distinction of glories here. There's a glory that Jesus had that he shared with the disciples, and then there's a glory that they have to wait to see when they go to Jesus's place.
Yeah.
This is huge, but it ain't what you're saying.
Well, I'm not saying that the glory that he gave them is the fullness of the glory.
Okay.
What we would say is that what he gave them is, you know, as you progress along this relationship that you have with Christ and with God, that you will be divinized. Now, if you actually want a really good analog to this, it's the Eastern Orthodox tradition and theosis. Okay.
Yeah, theosis.
Their notions of theosis. I've spoken with Eastern Orthodox, and by the way, I'd be very happy to talk with Eastern Orthodox guys to correct me on any of this.
Shout out, guys. He'd like to talk to y'all.
Yeah. I'm down to do that. On the subject of theosis specifically, to see if there are really meaningful distinctions, because I have found that it basically is almost identical up until like the last step. The last step is they go, you become like God, but you'll never bridge the ontological gap.
Correct. Yes.
And we go, you do that?
Yeah.
And you bridge the gap. Like you now are.
Y'all crossed that line.
Yes, we crossed the line.
That's wild, though, Jacob.
No, I agree. It's radical stuff. I'm not here to say it. Like we have beliefs that are significantly different, but I want to point to where those differences come from and where they're rooted in. I would argue that those are rooted in a particular presupposition of what we mean by God and an ontological distinction between God and man that's unbridgeable.
It comes from the scripture. Like you have the scripture literally, and not in any metaphorical way. God is not playing games. He's literally saying, I don't know of a God. I don't know of no other one, right? That's, like me, but there's no God like me. There wasn't one before me. There's not going to be one after me, but you're saying, yes, there will be some after you.
I would point to that as a statement again of incomparability. I would refer people to Michael Heiser's work on that.
But you're saying that we will be able to compare to him.
Well, here's what I would also say. There are also scriptures in there that say that ye are children of God, and if children, then heirs.
Yes.
Heirs with Christ.
Yes.
And I believe it also talks about sitting on the throne with Christ.
Him and the Father. Yeah.
I mean,
he's given us a certain authority and a position.
Now I'm not saying that there's. I mean, I think that there is a case that can be made. Now, maybe yours is the better case. Maybe in a debate like that would be the more convincing of the arguments. You know what I'm saying? But there's no doubt, even within the Christian tradition itself, within the Orthodox tradition, they can read it and at least come to the belief that we can become. I mean, they will use the word like become gods.
They won't say that.
Well, the early church fathers, I believe, will.
No, so okay.
So it's like they have a very strong view of theosis, and so the Latter-day Saint tradition is very, very similar. But I don't want to say that we're just like Eastern Orthodox. We're not. Okay? Eastern Orthodox, they don't cross the uncrossable line, guys. We do.
Because like I understand what you're saying about theosis, and you're like you said, you're right to an extent when you cross that, you bridge that.
We cross the line, guys. Sorry.
Like we will be able to, when we're glorified, we're going to be glorified. We're going to be joint heirs. We're going to partake in the divine nature, right? But we won't be ontologically the same as Yahweh. That is I mean,
There's a distinction.
biblically that's blasphemous.
Well, I totally see how people come to that conclusion. If they define God as that of which there no greater can be conceived, then it's an impossibility for anyone else to share in that, because God is that of which no greater can be conceived, and there's only one thing that is that of which no greater can be conceived. So what I'm pointing to is I agree with you if we start with the presupposition that what God is that of which there can no greater be conceived.